If you run a local service business,
Mm.
think HVAC, plumbing, anything like that, you're just constantly bombarded with marketing
Oh,
advice.
absolutely. It's SEO, pay-per-click, social media.
It's information overload, and it
Yeah.
makes everything feel kind of optional.
But that's a really dangerous way to think. We've gone through the sources, and they're all pointing to one thing, one tool that is it's not optional anymore.
And that's Google's local service ads, LSAs.
Exactly.
The sources are calling the LSA block the digital front door to your business.
It's a great way to put it. If you're not there, you're making customers look for the back entrance.
And the data here it's brutal.
Yeah.
Ignoring LSAs isn't a neutral choice. It is, and I'm quoting here, a direct subsidy to your competition.
So, our mission with this deep dive is to give you a strategic shortcut. We're going to cut through all that noise.
And explain exactly why LSAs are so critical and how you can turn them into a real, predictable engine for high-quality leads.
The key takeaway right from the start is that this is not just another marketing line item.
No, it really dictates your entire place in the local search food chain. If you skip this, you're giving up revenue, reviews, and, honestly, your local market share.
And to really grasp that, we have to start at the top. We have to talk about the most valuable real estate online for a local business.
Position 0.
Position 0.
Okay, that term needs to be burned into your playbook.
Okay.
It's the premier spot, right? The very, very top of the Google search results page.
The absolute top. It sits above everything else.
Above the traditional ads, above the map pack.
And above all the organic website listings, all of them.
See, I think that's the context most business owners are missing. Let's just walk through it. Imagine you're a customer. You need an emergency roof repair right now.
Your need is urgent. You've got money ready to go.
Before you even get to a company's actual website link, you have to scroll past a whole lot of other stuff.
It's a really steep climb if you're not in that top spot. First, you scroll past 1, the local service ads block.
Then 2, the regular Google search ads.
And then 3, the map pack. Only after all of that do you finally get to the organic results. You're effectively in position number 4.
And that has a devastating consequence, doesn't it? If you're not participating, you're forcing the most motivated customers to actively skip you 3 times.
3 times. And that creates these compounding problems that just make it harder and harder to ever catch up.
What's the first one?
First is you lose the first impression. Your competitors in position 0 get that Google guaranteed badge. They get instant trust. They get the first call.
Okay, and then the second problem is slower review accumulation. We're going to get into reviews later, but they are the fuel for this whole system.
They are. And if your competitors are getting more jobs from LSAs, they're also getting more reviews.
Which creates this cycle of visibility that just gets harder and harder to break into.
And finally, you lose future business. The sources are so clear on this. The company that gets the first LSAO job is way more likely to get the follow-up work.
The maintenance, the big replacement job down the line. You're not just losing one lead, you're losing a whole customer.
So failing to run LSAs means you are actively forfeiting immediate revenue, future revenue, reviews, brand visibility, everything, all because you missed out on that one spot.
Okay, so since it's so critical, we have to understand how it works. And the first piece is the payment model, which is a complete game changer compared to traditional ads.
We're talking about the pay-per-lead model.
Right. With traditional ads, you pay every single time someone clicks, even if they're not a real customer. With LSAs, you only pay for a valid lead.
A valid lead being a customer call, a message, or a book job that actually fits what you do.
But, a lot of people are probably skeptical about that. I mean,
Yeah.
running a service business, you get so much spam, so many solicitor calls.
People calling from way outside your service area.
Exactly. So the pay-per-lead model, it almost sounds too good to be true. Do you spend all your time fighting for refunds?
That's a fair question. And what makes it work, what makes the ROI so good, is the lead dispute process. If you get a call that's genuinely invalid spam, a duplicate, a customer outside your area, you can dispute that charge.
And you get the credit back.
You get a credit back to your account. As long as you do it within 30 days, it protects your budget.
That's a huge distinction. So the system knows bad leads exist, and it gives you the tool to get that money back.
Precisely. Which brings us to the second huge advantage. That little green check mark we mentioned, the Google Guaranteed Badge.
Why is that badge so powerful? I mean, we see badges all over the internet. Why is this one the, quote, most powerful trust symbol in local advertising?
Because it's not your trust, it's Google's. It instantly transfers Google's massive reputation straight to your business.
So customers just see it and think, okay, Google's already checked them out.
Exactly. It signals safety, reliability. When you're hiring a stranger to come into your home, that's a huge deal. It just short-circuits the whole trust issue and you get more calls.
And that vetting process is pretty serious, right? It's not just a rubber stamp. You have to go through background checks, license verification.
Oh, yeah. Insurance verification, background checks for the owner, for the employees who go into homes. It's all rooted in Google's focus on user safety.
So who's actually eligible?
Well, the quick rule of thumb is that your business probably falls into one of two categories. Either you make physical contact with the customer, like a doctor or a physical therapist.
Or, and this is the big one for our listeners, you enter the customer's home or property.
Right. HVAC, plumbing, locksmiths, garage door repair. If that's you, Google wants to make sure you're trustworthy before they'll guarantee your work.
Okay, so we've got position 0, we've got paper lead, and the Google Guaranteed badge. Now we have to talk about how to actually win at the ranking game.
And the good news here is that it's way more transparent than, the black box of traditional SEO.
You don't need tricks, you just need to execute on the basics.
Operational excellence, that's the key. The algorithm is driven by a few core factors. First, proximity, just how close you are to the customer who's searching.
Makes sense. Then you have review score and count, that's your star rating, plus the total number of reviews.
Then there's verified information, making sure your licenses and background checks are always up to date. And of course, budget availability. If your budget runs out, you're just gone.
All of those are important, but the sources point to one factor that is almost always underestimated.
Responsiveness.
Responsiveness. This is where so many businesses fall down, isn't it?
It is. It's not about strategy, it's about execution. Google's #1 goal is to give their user a great experience.
Which means connecting them to someone who can solve their problem now.
Right. So if you consistently miss calls from your LSAs, if you let them go to voicemail, the algorithm sees that. It sees you as a bad result for its users.
And the penalty is immediate. The sources had this one detail that just blew my mind. A business with fewer reviews can actually rank higher than a competitor with tons of reviews.
If they answer the phone.
Just because they answer the phone every single time. It's that simple.
It's the ultimate sign that Google prioritizes the customer. So here's the actionable tip. Your listed business hours on your LSA profile must reflect when someone can actually answer the phone.
Not just when your crews are out working.
Exactly. If your phone lines shut down at 5 p.m., your LSA hours need to end at 5 p.m., period.
That makes perfect sense.
Yeah.
You're not optimizing a website, you're optimizing an urgent human connection.
And that brings us right back to the center of this whole thing, customer ratings and reviews.
Right. You said responsiveness is the operational key, but reviews are the foundation of trust.
They're the single most critical element for success.
But wait, if everyone has the Google Guaranteed badge, don't they all kind of look the same to the customer? Why do reviews matter so much more here?
Because they hit you in two completely different ways. First is what we just talked about, algorithmic placement. Good reviews tell Google you're a high-quality provider, so they rank you higher.
Okay, that's the machine side of it.
But the second, and I argue it's even more powerful, is customer conversion. Once a customer sees that LSA block with 3 options, the badge makes them all seem trustworthy.
Oh, that do they choose?
Reviews become the final tiebreaker. It's their tool for mitigating risk.
Okay, so let's use that example from the sources. You got 3 choices on your screen.
All Google guaranteed. Option A has 4.9 stars and, say, 312 reviews.
Option B has 4.2 stars, but only 47 reviews.
And option C might have 4.8 stars with 120 reviews. Who are you going to call?
I mean, you're calling option A every time. The combination of that high rating and that huge volume, it just screams low-risk, consistent quality.
Exactly. Volume signals credibility just as much as the rating does. And this creates what the sources call the snowball effect.
The competitive moat.
That's it. It's a self-reinforcing cycle. More jobs gets you more reviews.
More reviews gets you higher placement and more visibility.
And higher placement gets you
more jobs.
And once a company commits to that system, they become almost impossible to displace. It's an incredible advantage.
Okay, this is the perfect time to get into the actionable framework. This is the anti-set it and forget it part of the deep dive. For anyone listening who's ready to jump in, let's start with a pre-launch checklist.
Right. To make this smooth, you want to have a few things ready. First, make sure you have an active Google business profile and a Google Ads account.
Then get all your paperwork together, your business license, your insurance docs.
Yes, and be ready for the background checks for the owner and any relevant employees. That part can take a little time, so start it early.
And, we can't say this enough, define your service area and your business hours based on actual phone availability.
Right, because if any of that verification stuff is pending, your ads just won't run. So once you're live, that's when the real work starts. This requires consistent management.
So let's run through the essential tasks. First up, after a call comes in, is call tracking and scoring.
You have to monitor every single call from the LSA platform. Someone on your team needs to score it. Was it a good lead? Did we book the job? This feedback tells the algorithm what's working.
And then, to feed that snowball effect, you need a process for review requesting. It can't be random.
It has to be systematic. After every single completed job, you need a procedure, an automated text, an email, something to ask for that review. You have to make it frictionless.
Which leads right into the third task, lead disputing. You said this is key for ROI. How often should you be doing it?
Every week. If you're tracking your calls, you'll know which ones were junk. Go into the dashboard, dispute them. You could get 5 to 15% of your ad spend back.
And that just goes right back into your budget to get more, better leads.
Exactly. And finally, you have to manage the account's health. Budget adjustments and monitoring alerts.
Don't run out of money midday.
Never. You'll disappear from position 0. And you have to watch for those alerts. A license needs renewing, a credit card expired. They're the silent killers that pause your ads without warning.
Okay, so let's say someone is doing all of this, but their call volume suddenly drops off a cliff. The sources say it's almost always a fixable issue, right? Not some mystery.
It's never a mystery. It's a diagnosis. First, check your budget. Is it empty?
Second, check your responsiveness. Have you missed a bunch of calls in the last day?
Third, did a competitor just launch a huge review push and temporarily jump ahead of you? And fourth, and this is the most common, is there a billing or verification alert sitting there that you missed?
It just underscores the need for active daily monitoring. You can't just check in on this once a week.
Not if you want to win.
So what does this all boil down to? We've covered a huge amount of ground here.
It's a strategic shift, not just another marketing channel.
The pillars of success are clear. 1. Secure position 0. 2. Build that amazing review profile.
3, be absolutely responsive. Answer every call.
And 4. Commit to active, systematic management. Treat it like a core business operation.
And that leads to the final provocative thought we want to leave you with.
Go for it.
The real power of LSAs isn't just the leads you get today. It's the long-term compounding advantage you build from the snowball effect. Setting up the ads is easy. Anyone can do it.
But committing to the process.
Committing to the systems, answering every call, disputing leads weekly, collecting reviews relentlessly, that's what separates a temporary boost from long-term market leadership. The investment you make in your process is the single most critical decision for sustained growth.